Welcome back. Today, we're chatting on the topic of listening versus waiting to respond. Yeah, there is a difference between actual listening versus just waiting to respond. Listening is when we're actually engaged in a conversation. You have eye contact, you're really asking questions, processing, and then responding back to the details, versus just waiting to respond. And waiting to respond, you can tell, and you've seen it multiple times, when people are like, and you know they're not really paying attention. It goes in one ear out the other. Right, and you see that a lot of times when parents are dealing with young kids, where the kids are talking all the time. Well, could be a good thing, and we're not really paying attention to them. Right, we're just responding. Or if you take that into a professional aspect, in the work environment, where people are multitasking and they're not really paying attention to you. And I even had an example recently where we were on a conference call, and person A was saying something and towards person B, and person B responded, totally ignoring what person A just said in the details. And the rest of them on the conference call were like, did you not pay attention? Right? And it's pretty obvious, because these are different examples that we go through every day that basically builds those relationships, or it can do the opposite. Today, our visual is actually another story. And the story is interesting because I saved it from about 6 months ago for today's topic of listening versus waiting to respond. So I walked into a meeting with other execs, and execs defined as decision makers, people who are relatively successful according to the worldly terms. And what was interesting about this is because I walked in with them talking about the topic of being healthy and weight loss. And this is interesting to me because of my past journey over the last 3 years. So I walked in with them, hearing them talk about these myths of, exercise a lot to burn off everything, or basically fasting, not eating things, cutting things out totally. But again, can that be long term? And why was that interesting? Because during this conversation, I just sat there really quietly and listening to them talk. And I know one point did they turn around and say, hey, what do you think? Or what do you know? Given the results that you've had, what is your secret? Right? But really listening to them just sort of talk, right? Not even really listening, but just want to talk out loud. And I thought that was a story because that happens a lot, right? When we're in a position of power or we're successful and people look at us, can we still really step back and really listen in a conversation versus just waiting to respond? Again, true listening skills builds those relationships. Action item for today is to pick one person and truly listen. Right? It could be a spouse, kids, maybe someone at work. But the goal here is to really engage in a conversation by stop the multitasking, really make eye contact, and listen to the details and respond back. You'll be amazed how the relationships and dynamics start to change. So, let me know your thoughts, or even better, let me know who you chose, why you chose this individual, and how the dynamics have changed once you practice those true listening skills. And as always, if you thought this beneficial, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time.